Yo! What up, Internet? Welcome to Bricks and Beer, episode 59. Trying not to make a mess. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for watching your mom's favorite podcast about Lego and beer. Oh, that's pretty good. I was a little hesitant on the fence with this beer. Big shout out to the homie Big Sal. Tonight's beer, Sit Your Ass Down Double IPA. It's from Against the Grain Brewery. They're brewer owned. They're from Louisville. This is it's one of those things where like, this is a good beer. What the fuck is going on here? This is the most like hipster dude ever. For some reason he has a Morning Star. And he's like clubbing an ostrich, which is punk rock as shit. It's got a mohawk. I'm so confused. I feel like this is one of those things where I'm like, yo, guys, settle down a little bit. Like, we get it. You're indie brewers. It's cool. The pun's nice. So this beer is not candy or mother's milk, is not brewed by gypsies or aliens, nor does it contain zombie dirt. It's a double IPA brewed with citra hops. Sticky, hoppy, and delicious. Simply drink it and enjoy it. Don't hoard this beer. Sit your ass down and drink it now. So that's what I'm doing. Cheers, Sal. Thanks for the beer, bro. It's pretty tasty. I'm not a big, like, double IPA guy. It's a bit much. Sal always likes the really heavy beers. This is 8.2% alcohol by volume. So it's a heavy one. I'm full of ramen right now, so drinking like an 8% beer is a little rough, but it's okay. It's working out. It's working out. So anyway, thank you guys for watching the podcast. There may or may not be some new viewers, so just to refresh, this is Bricks and Beer, your mom's favorite podcast about Lego and beer. Uncut, uncensored, unedited, and most importantly of all, unfucking professional. Tonight's episode's a little pure. It's kind of an OG flavor. It's just me hanging out. I've got one thing to show you guys, one thing only, and it's cool. So we'll talk about it. So before I show you the original build content, which is, what I'm assuming most of you guys are here for, let's talk about an official set. I bought this. The final Toys R Us exclusive. Geoffrey the Giraffe. Look at how fucking creepy this dude is. Why is he holding these children? What's even terrifying, this is more terrifying, is him trying to play hopscotch. Which this is actually really clever. Because Geoffrey the Giraffe is articulated wonky as shit. To speak to that point, I will show you Geoffrey the Giraffe. With the slight modifications I've made to him. I haven't done much. But I will show you why he's fucked up and why they had to photograph that in a particular way. Stand by. Technical difficulties. Trying to do shit off camera over here. Alright, here we go. So Geoffrey is actually a pretty good set. Like, for the price, which you can't get anymore, so it's not going to be a good price. He's a giraffe, and he's a Toys R Us giraffe, so he's going to look fucking weird because he's a weird mascot. But here's the really weird thing they did with this fucker, right? So he's got the mixel joints in the front, not underneath. Not like where your legs would normally stick down, in front. If my legs came out of the front of my kidneys, also look really weird. It's because he's supposed to sit, so he can weirdly wrap his arms around your children, and be nice. I changed the eyes. This is a little more angry. Imagine he's more happy. See? Happy, retarded, doe-eyed, little angrier version. We'll get to that. So anyway, so he can sit, or he can stand. But if you stand him, the only real way to stand him is to tripod him with the tail. Which this is weird as shit. So he kind of sucks in general. Like, he's really fucking weird. I built this because my wife's a little sick the other night. So I built it upstairs. I didn't build it in the hall of Lego here. And she was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what is this thing? And I was like, this is Geoffrey the Giraffe, the Toys R Us mascot, which she has no nostalgia for at all. Like, doesn't give a fuck about. And then she looks at this weird fucker, and she's like, this guy's creepy. Like, E.T. status creepy. So she told me to get this out of the room. Like, she didn't want this in the bedroom, which kind of understand. You know, he's fucking weird. So I've done a couple of modifications to him. The first one being the eyes, obviously. The second one being, I gave him a gangster chain, because, you know, you can. And then the third and final modification, I had to give him a neck swivel. So I gave him a turntable, because you can't have a giraffe. You can't turn his fucking head. You can't have this big-ass neck and not have him do anything. So the giraffe is a fucking neck swivel now, and a $5 coin chain. I kind of equate this, because, you know, he's the Toys R Us mascot. So back in the day, you used to get $5 off coupons. I think after you spend like $500,000, they'll send you a $5 off coupon. So it seemed fitting, you know. So Toys R Us, man, it's gone. That's it. I went to Toys R Us today, not to buy this. I bought this last week. But just to kind of give it, you know, the old, like, yeah, let's go. And it's a bittersweet thing, because the current state of Toys R Us, or at least the current state within the last, like, 2 years, they suck. They're shitty. Buying Lego Toys R Us, outside of fucking exclusives and speed champions and shit, sucks. It's overpriced for the most part. When it's on sale, it's like comparable normal retail pricing. So that sucks on the Lego front. And then on the nerd collectible action figure bullshit thing I do, they suck. They never have anything I want. So, like, they suck as a toy store. So it's like, I kind of get it. Like, you get fucked up. Like, I don't know. You suck. You weren't the same as when I was a child. But there is that thing. I was a child and I went to Toys R Us. It was a big fucking deal, man. It was like a huge deal. Like, it was an experience. And I talk to people about this, and, you know, everybody sort of has their own sort of, you know, story or reminiscing about Toys R Us, but it's a destination. And I think there's something really, really important about being a parent and taking your kid to a brick and mortar Toys R Us store and being like, we're going to get a toy. Here you go. It's fucking the land of magic. It's not the same as, like, taking your kid to, like, the toy aisle in Walmart, where you're like, oh, fuck off. Like, I gotta go get cat food or whatever. Like, you, as a kid, you went to Toys R Us, and it was there for one and only reason. Toys. It's amazing. It's fucking rad. Aisles, as far as the eye could see. Stocked to the ceiling, like the golden age, right? Like the 80s. Man, Toys R Us was a big deal. It's actually kind of funny. So I was talking to my mom about this. I know, weird. But she told me this story like twice in the same conversation about when I was probably 2 or 3. They took me to Toys R Us, and I was like all about it because you're 2 or 3 in a Toys R Us. And they had this fire truck, like one of those ride-on fire trucks. You like get in and pretend you're a fireman. And I was like obsessed with it, and then would, you know, I needed it in my life real bad. So they were like, okay, we'll buy you this fire truck thing. But the way it works is you can't just cruise off in the floor model, which is totally what I wanted to do because I was in the floor model. So they were like, okay, we got to take you to the cashier. We got to take you outside to the car. Then we got to drive around the building to the back of the warehouse where then they can deliver you the cardboard box with the in-box fire truck. Apparently, I just didn't stand for it. I fucking threw a giant fit. But they got me the fucking fire truck, and that was dope. And my mom's hilarious because she was like, we lived in a 1-bedroom apartment with like, no, it was unpaved outside. You couldn't ride around the fire truck anywhere. So apparently when I was like 3, I just sat in this fucking fire truck in the middle of our living room, loving life. So I don't know. I mean, like, it's a bummer because I don't want that to go away. And like, supposedly KB's coming back. And while that's great, because I definitely want a brick and mortar store, because I'm still that dude that goes toy hunting. I can buy everything online, easily, with minimal stress. I I like going into toy stores. I like, it's probably I'm chasing that dragon. I'm probably chasing that 8-year-old Toys R Us dragon. It just, it's not going to be the same. And like, granted, the Toys R Us of modern times, pretty shitty. Not that great. I'd take it over nothing. And I'd take it over KB. KB is okay. KB also sucks as a Lego place. Don't ignore this. Ignore this over here. I'll do this off camera so you guys can't see. Actually, I probably should do this on camera. But anyway, it's like, it's one of those things where I don't want Toys R Us to go away, but I don't want Toys R Us to continue operating the way they have been, which is like mediocre. So it's a bummer. And all this KB noise, like this dude that's like on Twitter and fucking LinkedIn being like, we're coming back, bitches. I'm like, dude, even if you could flip a switch and you could be in business tomorrow, and it was exactly like 1995, there were KBs in every mall. I don't think that's the same, dude. I don't think it's the same. And I think it's time and a place thing. Like the media, the commercials, the weird fucking retarded giraffe mascot. It all made sense, man. It all made sense. So now's a darker time, man. It's 2018. Pour one out for the homie, Geoffrey. This dude. Sorry, bro. Alright, so on to slightly more rosy things. I built Geoffrey, our buddy, a mecha suit. Because, you can. So yeah, he sits in here. Here, I'll show you what I was doing. It's that little hole in the back. That's so his stupid giraffe tail can stick through there. So he sits in his mecha suit because, I guess we all have to fucking grow up now. There's no more time for play. No more time to be a child. No more kids. It's all adults all the time. It's bullshit. Welcome to adulthood, children. Get there. So this is his mecha suit. It's pretty rad. That's why I put the angry eyes on here, because, it's Geoffrey's revenge. He's got arms that go up and down. He's got bicep swivels. Double jointed elbows. They're kind of whack. They get to about there. It's okay. Ball joint hips. Give you the man damage. Single joint knee. Not too bad. Kind of like the little hidden gear deal there. Ball joint ankles. He's got very Zaku feet. Very stompy pads for extra grippage and, decimating, I don't know, corporate America? I guess that's the war that Geoffrey's on now. Fuck Bane Capital. Take him out. He's also got the titty guns, which spin. I really, I only put these turntables here because I want them to be at 45-degree angles instead of the straight forward, 90-degree. But there you go. He's also got the first time I've ever used this piece, the mixer piece, which is great because it's got a little hollow so his little tail can stick out. Isn't that cute? He's got a shit ton of accessories that go with this thing because I can't build a mech and not build other things. So I'll show some of them to you guys, and then I'll show some of the other ones to you guys on another show, which I should tell you about. It's called Building Up to It. It's probably not for you guys. It might be. Actually, I'm probably misspoken. It's probably exactly for you guys. It depends on the episode, depends on what they're covering. It's a lot of retail set kind of stuff. Paul C, Clutch, shout out to those dudes. I was on the last episode, episode 21, so you guys can go check that out. There will be a link below. And I think I'll be on the next episode, which is when I'll talk about some more accessories that go with this dude. But let's talk about a couple of fun ones. Let's pick basic ones first. So he's got a pair of submachine guns. There you go. There's a machine gun. You can plug it into his hand here. I think my dog is dreaming upstairs. Yeah, I don't know. Crazy, right? So there's his machine gun. Pew pew, pew pew. See? Don't fuck with Geoffrey, bro. I got cool little effect parts. And I will take some photos of this eventually, so you won't have to bear with the shitty live camera angle. But there you go. He's blasting some fools with a submachine gun. He can dual wield if he needs to. But I'll show you a different accessory on this arm just because I can. So the arm has this, which is just kind of, you know, a general shaping part. There is an alternate shaping part. So see, this one's got slope and slope. This one is less slopey on one side because it's got a big laser sword. Because hardcore, you can slice up some fools. So, you know, Geoffrey's got all the weapons he needs. He's got to take on corporate America and Bane Capital and slice debt in half, apparently. So he's got some swords. They're alright. Okay on these. The submachine guns are fun, for sure. There are some more accessories, though, that kind of go with this. So, live, uncut. So if I pop this hand off, and I put the sword arm thing on, so you see he's got a slightly thicker arm there with two parts, you can add some accessories. So this one's pretty fun. It's a nice little plasma torch cutter flamethrower thing here. So get some effects going. Burninate the countryside, you know. Don't fuck around, man. Don't fuck around. The angry eyes work so much better. He's so much better. If you want to, I got the different effect part. We could call this a plasma torch. You know, there you go. It's a little more electric. Pew pew. And then if, you know, that's not your thing, we can just rip this hand off. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. Try not to break everything at once. So there's the arm. There's the hand. You can see. Port. And I'll do a different one for now, and then we'll do the most fun one last. So you're like, Andrew, he's got a lot of melee weapons. He's got a lot of short range shit. What if Bane Capital sends in stealth bombers flying through the sky? It's okay. My buddy Geoffrey, the Giraffe here, he's armed with anti-aircraft deals. So he's got himself, you know, a radome, because you need a radar. And he's got himself a big-ass missile pack, because, you know, everyone needs a missile pack, right? Yeah, sure. See, now I legitimately feel like a crazy person, because I'm narrating Geoffrey the Giraffe taking on Bane Capital. Cheers, guys. So, oh man, I love fucking mechs. Part of the, just quick aside, the angle of tonight's shot's a little weird. You see how it's kind of skewing? It's because I have a top secret project on this big ass desk. It's taking up a lot of room. And what's really nice about that is I stopped building this big ass project to build one of my favorite things, which is dumb, silly mecha and giraffes. Giraffes aren't really part of that, but I fucking love building mecha. And this, to me, this is like a stress build, dude. I built this in 2.5 days. Basically one night for the legs, and then one night for this, and then half a day for all this other bullshit deal. But I really like the mecha. I like the missile pod. I'm really happy with the mixer usage. It's the first time I've used a mixer ever. And I have 4 of these halves, which, you know, makes sense because that's what you want. I always thought that I would use it as like 2 halves instead of just one, but it really works. It gives some nice shaping here. It gives them some nice bulk. So the last one, the last accessory, and then we'll get out of here. You guys can go about your business. This will be a nice short 20-minute episode or whatever. You know, because when shit gets rough, you gotta get going. Oh yes, the saw blade hand. Metal as fuck. Metal as fuck, right? Yeah. Because I could, man. You know, he's gotta cut the prices in half and do some discounts, liquidation time. So there it is. There's fucking Geoffrey's Revenge. Hope you guys enjoyed that. It's a mech. I had a good time building it. I will show off some other accessories, like I said, on the next episode of building up to it. So that way you're not just rehashing the same shit and hanging out with me, talking about the same stuff. I'm sure we'll talk about some other, things like ideas, sets, and crap on there. But yeah, anyway, so I wanted to put this out there. Last thing, I think Dollar Days is done. This is my bag from this season. This is one each of every set that came out assembled. So you can see there's all kinds of bullshit in there. The more exciting and important part is this, which is the discs from Not These. It's this bonus. There's a plan. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Good times. Thanks again, Sal, for the beer. It's pretty good. Digging it. A little bit on the nose. Sit your ass down. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I will see you in the future.